This time we're going to talk about project management for costumes, how you can make sure you complete your elaborate, detailed costume within the timeline and within your budget. Hello collaborators, I'm Michelle. We're here in the Fabricatorium. Today we're talking about project management for costumes, how you can make sure that this elaborate costume you're planning is done in time for the event and doesn't blow your budget. I think we've all had the experience of going to an event completely sleep deprived in a barely finished or unfinished costume with swollen, bloody fingers on our last frayed nerve of exhaustion. In order to avoid ever being in that situation, I came up with Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. Plan C is right now, if you had 10 minutes to get dressed for this event, what would you pull out of your closet to wear? If your project management fails, you are going to that event and you have something to wear. The first step is to define the scope of the project and identify the resources you have. Resources include time, money, and skill. It includes things you have in your stash, costumes you can cannibalize, friends you can persuade to come and help you, buying elements of the costume already constructed, paying someone to work on the costume. You may be familiar with the triangle of cheap, fast, good, pick two, which means if it's cheap and good, then you're going to need a lot of time. If it's good and fast, then it's going to cost you a lot of money. And if it's fast and cheap, it's probably going to be very simple or not very good. In the case of the Mountain Fae, I looked at my sketch, and from the skin outwards, I looked at what garments would she be wearing. And then I looked at what each of those pieces was going to need from start to finish. The coat is going to need a pattern to be fitted, an under infrastructure, a lining, lace elements on it, closures, embellishment. If I get there, it will have the epaulets. I estimated how long I think it will take me to execute those elements, and then I assigned them to the calendar. One day to figure out which fabric I'm going to use for my stash and cut this coat out. Another day to join up the outer shell, and so on and so forth. I like the flexibility of post-it notes for this process. It allows me to keep the project tied to the calendar. If I finish early, I can slide things forward or choose something from the future and slot it into that spot. If I start running behind, I can move all of the pieces down through the calendar and see whether I'm still on Plan A. Then I look at the calendar to see if there's enough time to do this. At this point of the project, there is the illusion of unlimited time. The reality is, the more I procrastinate, the more likely it is I will have Plan B and not Plan A, which is why I'm doing the project management. That was a quick look at project management for an elaborate costume. Follow along with me, we'll see how well it works. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.